offering my humble and reverential pranams at the divine lotus feet of Bhagawan. My name is Dwarakanadh. By qualification, I am a chartered accountant, and currently I am the district president of Bangalore Central District, and I have been in the organization for the past 46 years almost. I reside in Bangalore, Indiranagar. Regarding Bhagawan, none of the members of our family knew about Swami before 1967. Although there was sporadic information that used to pass by, but nobody gave much attention to that. Because those days, way back in 60s, the communication system was not as good as it is now, and newspapers were also not reporting much. So I have an aunt in Ballari, her name is Vijaya. She had a handicapped child. So she was very much concerned about the girl, and because Ballari is proximity to Anantapur district, so she used to go to Puttaparthi much frequently than any of us. And every time she goes to Parthi, either during Shivaratri time or any general visits, she used to write a letter to my mother. My mother was also not aware of Bhagawan at that time. So what happened was, in one of the letters, my aunt Vijaya wrote to my mother about the Lingodbhavam in Puttaparthi by Bhagawan on Shivaratri day. So my mother was very anxious, and she also was very much interested to go and take blessings of Bhagawan. So one day she asked me, "Can you take me to Puttaparthi?" I said, "Amma, I am not going to take you. If you want, you can go." Then she wrote a letter to my aunt Vijaya, and then they arranged to meet in Guntakal railway station. My mother, I dropped her at the railway station, boarded her, and she went to Puttaparthi first time during Shivaratri. It was in 1967. After her visit, she came back to Hyderabad. We were living in Hyderabad at that time, and she narrated all the experiences she had. And we just heard it, but none of us took any interest in her experiences. Then in 1970, my brother Shri, who is a chartered accountant, was asked to become a partner in one of our uncle's chartered accountants firm. My brother, incidentally, Sridhar, is father of Ravi Kumar, the Parthi Mandir singer. So my brother set up the practice there, and coffee estates all around Madikeri. So I was planning to join medical profession, but unfortunately I couldn't get a seat. Then my brother said, "Come and join CA." So I joined him in 1971. That is in Madikeri. So again in Madikeri we were not exposed to Bhagawan because we were staying almost at the outskirts of the town. Not much of activity, not much of introduction to anybody. So we moved to the downtown of Madikeri in 1974 when we first met one uncle, elderly person, Kurgi uncle, by name Biddanda Appachu. He actually started talking about Bhagawan, and we all took more and more interest in listening to his stories of Swami and Bhagawan's visit to Coorg district, also all sorts of things. Then he asked us to join the Madikeri Samiti, which was running in a temple there. And in 1974, I officially joined the Sathya Seva organization Karnataka through Madikeri Samiti. So that is the first introduction of mine to the organization. From then onwards, I was continuously attending once in a week bhajans there, and I started singing to whatever extent I could. And that continued till as long as I was there in Madikeri till 1978. As I was saying, after I left India and joined this multinational in Bahrain, I was literally lost because there were no activities other than attending the office and coming back, and not made many friends. Luckily, along with me, one of my distant cousins joined NCR. We both used to slowly get together and meet people, and we found out that Bahrain has got a very good South Indian community which meet regularly on Thursday nights, and because Thursday being the weekend for them, Thursday nights, and chant Vishnu Sahasranama, and they also sing bhajans after that, and then some dinner. So being bachelors, we were more interested in the dinner part of it rather than anything else. So when we were first taken to one of those places where the meeting was happening, I started singing Sai bhajans. I didn't know any other bhajan before that. So couple of times when I was attending this and singing Swami bhajans, I was, of course, not completely connected with Swami because the photographs and other things were all, none of them had Swami's photographs there. Then one day after I finished the bhajan and the program was over, one gentleman walked to me and said, are you a Sai devotee? That is Mr. Vinod Pasi, who is in the finance and audit in Puttaparthi now. I said, yes, I am a Sai devotee. Then he was inquiring about where I am coming from and all of the details. And he said, shall we start a Sai center here? I said, why not? So what he did, he introduced me to a few other members known to him who actually were meeting regularly discussing about Bhagawan, satsang like. One is Mr. Shivaraman, who assisted All India President Srinivasan after he came back to India. Then Vinod Pasi, of course, myself, and then one Shivanandan who set up the computer system in Parthi, and then Tillai Nayagan who actually worked the maintenance division in Parthi, and then Harihara Krishnan, another chartered accountant, who actually was working with me as my colleague in Bahrain, Kuwait and other places, and Mr. Deshpande, Ame Deshpande's father. So all of them have come back and settled down and worked in Parthi. So we all got together and discussed. I think as per international regulations, we need to have 9 people to set up an international samiti. So Vinod Pasi took the initiative. He applied to Indulal Shah sir and got the approval. So that's how the Bahrain Sai Center was set up. So we were conducting bhajans in different houses at that time. And it was very, very touching for me because I am back to Swami's fold. So lots of new bhajans I learnt, and Mr. Shivanandan's wife was a MA in music. She studied in Adayar Music College. So she used to compose new bhajans, and we used to learn from her and sing. And this continued for about 2-3 years like that. In 1980 we have established the center with Bhagawan's grace. And it was about 20 to 25 members were coming, different people who were interested in listening to bhajans first started coming and learned about Bhagawan. Then in 1982, my elder son was born, and for his first birthday, my mother-in-law and father-in-law both came to Bahrain to attend the first birthday of my son. So one evening when they were there, one of the Sai devotees called us for a dinner, a Gujarati friend. So my mother-in-law said, I am not coming, you all go. Myself, my father-in-law and my wife, we went for the dinner. So what happened was, at 9:30 India time, and no, 9:30 Bahrain time, midnight India time, somebody knocked the door and my mother-in-law was alone at home with the baby. So she was very scared. She is not very educated, studied only up to 5th standard, and she knows only Tamil and Hindi. So she did not open the door at all. But again the knock repeated so consistently. She thought the next apartment where my other cousin who was working with me in NCR, his wife keeps dropping in once in a while to talk to my mother-in-law. So she thought she has come, she opened the door. She was shocked to see Bhagawan standing there in physical form, absolutely, smiling, and she thought first it was an Arab who has come because their dresses are also same and the hairdo also same like Arab. Then as soon as she saw, she got shocked and she was about to close the door. Then Bhagawan said, wait. And he said, I have brought an apple for Dwarakanadh, take it. Then she refused to take it and started closing the door on his face. Swami then stopped her, materialized Vibhuti, applied it on her forehead, and walked a few feet and disappeared. This happened around 9:30 India time, midnight. So we came back from the dinner around 10 o'clock and knocked the door and rang the bell, and she was not opening the door. So we were a bit concerned. So I had a duplicate key. I opened the door and went in and found her sitting. We had a dining room and sitting room. So she was sitting in the dining room chair and profusely sweating. My father-in-law immediately suspected that she must have had a chest pain or heart attack because she is already a cardiac patient. And he asked her, what's the problem? He said, Swami came. He said, what are you talking about? Bhagawan, that particular day only Ravi and others had Upanayanam in Puttaparthi. I think it was in June, 1983. So she said, no, 100% Swami has come. See my face. Because we are Vaishnava, she never applies Vibhuti. She applies only Kumkum or Tilakam. So we were a bit concerned. Then she said, no, Swami said this. And so she narrated the whole incident. Afterwards, I called Vinod Pasi and said, this is what happened. And so immediately all of them came to my house at almost at 10:30 in the night. And they all spoke to her, and she again repeated what has happened. Then we said, okay, we asked her to show the place where Swami was standing. So outside the door, she showed the place. We did Rangoli and then took Aarti to that place, and then spent some more time discussing about this miracle.